What's up guys, Double G Bassin here, back with another video. And today, we're gonna be looking at the 3 biggest whitetail bucks ever shot. You know, I myself have actually shot some pretty big whitetails. I'm just kidding, that's Dad's. Mine's in the garage though. I haven't done many hunting videos on this channel before, let alone one like this, so I'm very excited to get into this today. It's a super cool video with some incredible stories, and I think you guys are really gonna like this one. So without further ado, let's get right into it and get to number 3. Coming in at number 3, the Tucker buck. It was the second weekend of September in 2016 in Summer County, Tennessee, when Stephen Tucker and his uncle just finished shelling some corn. And when Stephen was heading back to his truck, he heard his uncle yell from across the field, "Look at that deer over there." So Stephen looked over, and just as he looked, the deer stepped out into the open, and it stood there for like 20 seconds. And Stephen literally could not believe what he was seeing, because he didn't know it at the time, but he was looking at the current world record for a whitetail buck. And eventually, after 20 seconds or so, it ran off into the woods. But ever since that, when he laid his eyes on that deer, he couldn't stop thinking about it. He said he couldn't sleep right. All he could think about was shooting this deer. So obviously, he was just looking forward to it, and he could not wait for hunting season to finally open up so he could get a shot at this deer. And finally, the day came where Stephen saw this buck from the deer blind. He saw it coming in from around 30 yards away. And when he stopped, Stephen aimed his muzzleloader, he took a deep breath, and told himself, this is it. And then he fired. His heart was literally beating out of his chest as he watched this world record run away. And then his heart sank because his gun misfired and nothing came out. Nothing happened. But the deer heard the click and it ran off without a shot being fired. And Stephen, he panicked. He thought, is this it? Did I really just lose my chance because of a misfire? Is he ever gonna come back? He was just gutted. He was gutted, man. Like, imagine that happening to a world record deer. That is just sickening. But he decided he couldn't let this set him back, and he got right back out there. And because of his efforts and determination, finally, something amazing happened. It was the morning of November 7th when he finally saw this deer once again. He came out to 40 yards after working a scrape, and Stephen whispered to himself under his breath, and he told himself, I cannot mess this up. So he slowly raised his gun and he tried to steady himself the best he could because he was shaking very bad and his adrenaline was pumping like never before. After he steadied himself a little bit, he took one last deep breath and he pulled the trigger. But this time, all he saw was a cloud of smoke, which is a good sign because that means that the gun fired. And muzzleloaders, they're different than regular firearms. They just create a big cloud of smoke when you fire him. And when the smoke cleared, he saw the deer running into the woods. He could barely contain his excitement while calling his family. And shortly after, his family came down, met Stephen by the ground blind, and then they walked over to where the shot was. And thankfully, right away, there was a huge trail of blood that led them straight to the deer in less than 30 minutes. And just like that, the world record was down and in Stephen's hands. And measuring this deer with the Boone and Crockett scale, it came out to a whopping 312 3/8 inches for a score. And in total, it had 47 scoreable points. Just an absolute beast, like an unfathomable monster right there. And during the following weeks of this, when he posted it, it went viral, of course, and he said he became overwhelmed with phone calls, messages, companies that were contacting him, and everybody had an opinion about what he should or should not do. And he received a lot of backlash from animal rights advocates, of course, which is typical, but he decided to just take a break from social media, let it all die down, and solidify his spot in the world record books for the biggest whitetail ever shot. And coming in at number 2, the second biggest buck ever shot is the Butcher buck. Now, Brian Butcher started bow hunting 20 years ago from today. He started off shooting a bunch of does, and it actually took him many years to shoot his first buck. So fast forward to April 25th, 2019, and Brian went out to check his trail camera, which was the first time that he actually laid eyes on the Butcher buck. Now, April is still pretty early in the year, so bucks didn't fully regrow all their antlers yet. They didn't reach their full potential in size, mass, points, all of that yet. As you know, deer shed their antlers every year and then they regrow them. Even though it was still early in the year, when Brian saw the picture, he knew it was going to be big, but he just couldn't see how big it was going to be yet. And that was the last Brian saw of this deer. So naturally, he just kind of forgot about it, went to the back of his mind, and he didn't even think about it anymore. But he would remember real quick. It was a cold morning in Kansas on October 11th, 2019. The high was 52 degrees, which was 20 degrees cooler than it was the day before. And Brian and his buddy Clint wanted to go trim some branches and make a shooting lane for a ladder stand that they set up a week prior. And right when they pulled up, 2 to 3 deer took off running back into the woods. But nonetheless, they continued. They cleared their lanes, cut some branches down, but because there was deer there already when they showed up, so as Clint was gonna leave and head back, Brian decided that he was actually gonna stay and just do some observing. He wasn't really trying to hunt that night. He just wanted to observe the deer, see what was in the area, and maybe glass a nice buck or two. But within 15 minutes, a small buck walked out, but that moved on. And after that, action was just non-existent for the next half an hour. There was no deer moving whatsoever. But then the wind finally died down and it was go time. A nice 9-pointer came in and it was feeding on all the freshly cut limbs for around 45 minutes, just standing there. Nice 9-pointer. If that was me, that deer wouldn't have been able to eat for 45 minutes, I can tell you that much. Either because I missed or I hit it, one of the two, but I'm shooting. So it ate for around 45 minutes until it eventually walked back off into the timber. No shots were fired, but not even 5 minutes after that 9-pointer, Brian saw 2 deer in his peripheral vision, and he noticed that one buck looked much bigger than the one that was next to it. And on first glance, Brian actually thought that there was like branches or twine mixed into this buck's antlers. That's how crazy it looked. But once the deer got a little bit closer and Brian could see more clearly that it wasn't twine, it wasn't branches, it was just straight antlers, crazy antlers. And once he realized this, he knew that this was a shooter. And after that, he couldn't look at the antlers anymore because he was getting too nervous. And so the buck slowly made its way into 25 yards, offering him a perfect broadside shot. So he took a deep breath and he let the arrow fly. He made an absolute perfect shot. And he watched this buck run for a little ways, and then he also watched it tip over, which is literally the best feeling as a hunter, when you can watch your deer tip over. And this was Brian's first sit of the entire year. His first sit. And he wasn't even planning on hunting that day. He was just gonna do some glassing. And just for that to happen after they were just trimming branches, driving 4-wheelers all around the area, and that buck came in 2.5 hours later is just insane. That was just honestly just meant to be. That buck was 4.5 to 5.5 years old, and it scored a 321 3/8 inch on the Boone and Crockett scale. And it had 67 scoreable points. That's not funny. If you took every buck that I've ever shot in my entire life and probably ever will shoot, this buck will still be bigger. Just an absolute giant and crazy looking deer. It's just insane that wild deer can actually get that big. Alright guys, so just recently I started doing promotions for small businesses that reach out to me, and today we have the Three Little Birds Consignment Shop. This is located in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and if you guys are ever in the area, I highly recommend you come and check this place out. They have everything you need, from pillows to jewelry to board games. I think I even saw a wrestling belt in there. I mean, they literally have it all. And the lady that was working the front desk was so nice to me. She answered all my questions, and it's just a really neat shop. So if this is your thing and you guys are ever in the area of Green Bay, Wisconsin, I would definitely recommend you check this out. All right, back to the video. Now this is the big deal right here. And now, the moment that you have all been waiting for. This is the biggest buck that has ever been shot in the world. And coming in at number 1, the Brewster buck. Now, Luke Brewster was in the Marine Corps, who spent 2 tours of duty over in Afghanistan. When he got back home, he picked up bow hunting after he was invited on a hunting trip by all of his buddies. Even though no deer were actually shot that trip, Luke said that just the sight of a doe that he saw while he was sitting in his stand and the overwhelming peace that a deer stand can bring was all it took, and he was absolutely hooked. Now, Luke actually preferred using a bow instead of a gun, and after he bought his first bow, he began shooting it all the time and became absolutely obsessed with becoming a good shot, getting his group smaller and smaller. He was shooting all the time. Now, the first bow season he hunted, he shot 2 does. In the season of 2017, he shot his first buck, which was a nice 10-pointer. Now, Luke's dad is a farmer in Illinois, and he allows his son-in-laws to hunt on his property. Luke wanted to get in on this action a little bit, so he asked his dad if he could come down and hunt there for a season. Of course, his dad said yes, and so this upcoming hunting season, Luke would be down there hunting with the guys. And now the son-in-laws who already hunted the land kind of took Luke under their wing. They taught him everything that they know about hunting the Midwest. Showed him where all the stands are. They taught him how to play the wind so his scent wouldn't get picked up by the deer. Just everything that he needed to know, the son-in-laws taught him. The first year that Luke was hunting in the Midwest, he had a textbook perfect encounter with a nice buck, but his shot was just a little off, resulting in a spotty blood trail and an unsuccessful recovery attempt. And Luke was actually really destroyed about this. He felt terrible and he was just upset for a while, but the son-in-laws, his buddies, they all picked him back up, got his head back in the game, and got him back out there for another try. Now 2 years later, and Luke still has shot no bucks. But Luke had another chance at the same 10-pointer that he shot and didn't find. He had another shot at this deer. But this time when Luke drew his bow back and shot, he was able to make a good shot, and the buck ran 45 yards and Luke watched it tip over. So now nobody can really be prepared for shooting the biggest buck ever, but at least he's got some experience with a nice buck, and he's got that under his belt now. And so with that being said, that brings us to 3 a.m. on November of 2018. Luke just left his home in Virginia and he's headed to Illinois for the annual hunt. After a slow morning sit, Luke and the guys got together and they grabbed some breakfast and they just kind of talked about where everybody was gonna sit that evening. And Justin, which is one of the son-in-laws, told Luke about a stand that nobody has hunted for years and years. And it is way far south of where they've been seeing Mufasa, which is the world record. It's way out of his range. He's never seen there. And on top of all that, Justin said that the wind swirls in that stand, so the deer might pick up your scent and run away. But after all this, Luke decided that he was gonna take it anyway because the son-in-laws were already set on where they were gonna sit that night. So Luke just kind of got the scraps, but he was okay with it and he went there anyways. And it actually took him a few tries just to find the tree. But once he did, he climbed up, he ranged everything to make sure he was all set to know how far of a shot it would be if a big buck did walk out, and he was ready for whatever came his way. But after sitting for 4 hours and not seeing a single deer, finally a couple does stepped out and started grazing on the field a little bit, but they were acting extremely nervous and super skittish. So Luke was worried, like, oh man, they might have picked up my scent. The wind must be swirling a little bit. But after a little while of eating, they eventually moved their way off. And Luke finally, he lowered his binoculars. And that's when he realized that these does did not pick up his scent. And the reason that these does were actually nervous was because standing right in front of Luke was Mufasa, the world record whitetail. And immediately Luke said that he was frozen and he couldn't move. He couldn't even think of the name of the deer. He said he couldn't even think at all, period. That's how shocked and nervous he was in this moment. Mufasa stood 30 yards in front of him. And after a moment, Luke's instincts finally kicked back in and he slowly replaced his binoculars and grabbed his bow. And he could do that because there was a big stump in the way between him and Mufasa, so he could slowly move without the deer seeing him. And the buck pawed at a scrape like 3 to 4 different times, and then Mufasa lifted his head up and stretched to lick the branch that was right above the scrape, and that's when Luke drew back his bow. After the shot, Luke said he felt really good. He had a good shot on the deer, he didn't rush the release, so he felt very good about the shot. But that instantly turned into doubt because he was holding his binoculars trying to find any blood from the deer, but he could not find anything. Nothing. But eventually he calmed down a little bit and he texted the guys, "I just shot Mufasa." And 30 minutes later, he got down and started heading to his truck to drive back, but he said he couldn't take it. He literally could not handle it. So he walked over to where he shot this deer, trying to find any spot of blood, just anything that shows him he hit this deer. And by the color of the blood, you can kind of tell what kind of shot you made on the deer. So that would just give him a little bit of a clear headspace. But when he walked over there, he didn't see anything. He felt absolutely sick to his stomach. As he's standing there, he's looking around and he saw his arrow just a little ways away. So he walked up to it, that it was absolutely covered in frothy blood, which is a great sign. That's a lung shot right there. So that picked Luke's hope up right away. He told himself he's already walked this far, he might as well follow the couple specks of blood that he saw right by his arrow. So he started following it right to the woods, but he stopped on the edge of the woods and he was kind of scanning the horizon, seeing if he could see anything. And that's when he saw antlers sticking out in the horizon. So he instantly crouched down, he got his bow ready, he knocked another arrow, and he slowly crept closer and closer to this deer. But as he got closer, he realized that this buck was already dead due to the double lung shot. He literally could barely contain his excitement. He had to stifle his screams so that he wouldn't ruin all the other guys' hunts. I can only imagine how fast his heart was beating in that moment. I mean, looking at the world record buck and you just shot it, that would be a crazy feeling. This buck only made it 40 yards, and as he started heading back to the truck to wait for the guys, he saw them running his way, pumping their fists in the air, yelling, they're screaming, they're all pumped up. And so he started running back up to them and they all celebrated, they hogged, high five. That's a close second to one of the best feelings in hunting. After shooting a deer, celebrating with everybody is just so awesome. And as he walked back over to the deer following the blood trail again, he looked down and he saw a 13-inch split drop tine that Mufasa busted off while he was running through the woods. A 13-inch split drop tine. That is ridiculous. That's over a foot hanging below the antlers, hanging below the regular antlers. Golly. Luke said he felt dizzy and almost drunk from his adrenaline pump, and just the excitement of it was just unmatched. And now the world record deer, the Brewster buck, on the Boone and Crockett scale, it scored a 327 and 7/8 inches, and it had 39 scoreable points. And that's the biggest buck ever shot. So yeah, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. That is the 3 biggest bucks ever shot. And of course, these are all wild deer, so there's no fenced in areas. I would never make a video on that. I promise you. But I thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you guys like this video, or you feel you want to support the channel in any way, I make really cool hunting, fishing, faith-based hats. I made the website myself. It took a very long time. The hats are only $20, and the link will be right in the description below. So if you guys want to go over there and check that out and grab a hat, that would mean the absolute world to me. And I literally couldn't thank you enough. But if not, that's okay too. I thank you just for being here watching this video. And as usual, I'm going to do a Bible verse. I do a Bible verse at the end of these kind of videos. So if you guys want to stick around for that, that would be awesome. But if not, that's okay too. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. All right, guys, thank you so much for sticking around. That means a lot. The verse that I'm going to be reading today is Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. And it says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. That's a very short one, but it's very powerful. Jesus always talked about if you truly believe in something when you're praying, it will be done for you. And that kind of sums up that entire verse right there. Having a relationship is kind of a two-way thing. So when you're praying, you really want to mean it. You want to believe it and mean what you're saying. Jesus said it himself. If you truly believed that you could move this mountain and throw it into the sea, that it will be done. So anything you guys truly put your mind to, if you have God in the center of that, there is nothing that can stop that from happening. Absolutely nothing. Now, I'm not saying you can pray and ask for like $1 billion and that's gonna happen. But over time, if you work towards that and you truly keep God in the center of it and rely on Him for what to do next, He's got a plan for all of our lives, every one of us. You will get to your end goal. You just will. So no matter where you are in life, whether you're just starting something or you're in the middle of it and it's not going well or it's going great, just keep God in the center of it. Keep praying and reaching out and believing, and everything will work out for you. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys like that verse. And one more thing before I go, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you guys so much, because today we just hit 10,000 subscribers. 10,000 subscribers. That's unbelievable. I genuinely, I can't even fathom it. I started this channel like 9 years ago. 3, 2, 1, oh!
Welcome to my first ever video that I will be uploading to YouTube.
Yeah, we've had a lot of ups and downs along that journey, but just to where I am now, from when I started, it's amazing to see. And I love looking back at my old videos and just laughing at them. So it's been a really amazing journey. And I'm so thankful for every single one of you that is subscribed and that does watch my videos and you like them. It means a lot to me that I can give you an escape from your everyday life for 30 minutes or whatever it may be. So genuinely, thank you guys. You guys are amazing, and I appreciate every one of you from the bottom of my heart. And I will never stop making videos, and they will just keep getting better and better and better. I promise you. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you again so much for watching. And until next time, this is Double G Basson signing out. Peace!